Hello, my name is Brandon Henner. My student ID number is 193304. In this presentation, I will be discussing many aspects and competencies within the position of Chief Information Officer, or CIO. I will also discuss how my education at Western Governors University has prepared me for this position. There are many competencies that encompass this position, many of which include leading people and teams, developing sustainable solutions, serving customers, managing products and services, managing technology and innovation, assessing the competitive environment, and planning for the future in the global marketplace. But first, let me start with discussing the typical responsibilities of a CIO. The CIO is an executive manager. He is at the top of the IT department in an organization. He often has to communicate the IT strategy to other company executives and shareholders. He sets the overall strategy for the IT department. This involves implementing the company's vision within the department in order to maximize the organization's productivity. The CIO also ensures that the individual business goals for the IT department are achieved while maximizing profitability. The key term in Chief Information Officer is Chief. They are first and foremost a leader. Depending on the size of the organization, they are sometimes directly responsible for managing projects. Regardless of the scale of said project, they must be able to resolve conflicts in the workplace in a way that not only reflects the strong leadership, but teaches the employees how to prevent conflict in the future. Leading by example and motivation is key. The CIO must have an authoritative demeanor and implement motivational techniques that encourage productivity in the workplace. There are many types of leadership. Some people are task-oriented and some are people-oriented. The CIO must hold more of a people-oriented leadership role in order to encourage middle management to perform task-oriented leadership skills effectively. Developing sustainable solutions in the IT department means implementing systems and processes that improve the department's overall productivity and profitability. Sustainability is about aligning the company's vision with its business strategies. Some CIOs implement management strategies such as Six Sigma in order to ensure sustainability through statistical tools and techniques. Understanding the competition strategy and how it affects your company is another key tool towards ensuring the company's longevity. The method in which customer service is implemented within the company's IT department can be a key differentiating factor from the competition. Depending on the company's function or product offering, there tend to be two types of customers, internal and external. The internal customer being the company's employees, and the external being the end customers. Regardless of the type of customer, there are many forms of service that can be supplied to ensure satisfaction and progress. The CIO must be an advocate for improving customer service at all times. The internal customers might require reliable computer systems to ensure productivity, whereas the external customers might benefit from a web storefront or an extranet system to track order progress. Of course, the CIO will be the person actually programming the web pages, but he or she will need to be fluent in all of the latest technologies and be able to determine how they might benefit the customer experience. I firmly believe that word of mouth is one of the greatest sales tools available, and that tool will always end up missing when you have a dissatisfied customer. A long time ago, I was discussing this with a colleague, and he asked me, "How do you know your customers are truly satisfied? Do you ask them?" Customer surveys are a great way to gather feedback about how to improve the customer satisfaction. The CIO can bring a lot to the shareholders' table when it comes to managing products and services. For decades, technology has continued to grow many companies' ability to effectively manage and serve products to end customers. The CIO's role in this process is to ensure that the company's business goals are aligned properly with the technology department's product solution team. There are a large variety of inventory management, sales support systems, even accounting tools that the CIO can evaluate and determine whether these technology products will move the company and services offerings forward. Project budgeting ensures that the department doesn't exceed the expected funds necessary for this specific project. As technology grows, so does the company's need to stay competitive. Managing technology and innovation is a competency that the CIO has to stay ahead of. Innovation especially can be a key differentiator in the company's success or failure. Although innovation is commonly synonymous with success, innovation can also mean significant loss. Innovating new products and services in the world of technology is risky, but risk is also necessary to become an innovator. CIOs are commonly considered thoughtful risk takers. Sometimes the product can be a huge success in the industry, or can also result in a loss in the form of research and development materials. It is the job of the CIO to ensure technology and innovation is implemented effectively and to weed out the solutions that don't fit the company's vision. Since technology is constantly changing, a significant amount of research and dedication goes into propelling the company into the future. Competition is an inevitable component of any industry. The key to being successful in a company-specific industry is to be a differentiator. With all the products available and technology that can give the company the competitive edge, the CIO has the challenge of determining which of these products will make them successful. They might also have to analyze the competitive environment to determine which vertical markets and regions to sell to. There's also some market research involved in order to determine how the competitors are successful and ways to combat that success through the use of IT products. Porter's Five Forces model can provide a valuable tool to the CIO, which can allow him to effectively analyze the competitive market by breaking it down into distinct areas on which to focus. The CIO might use this model to develop a loyalty program to entice buyers towards the company. This loyalty program will most likely require a website or extranet to track purchases, which would fall under the CIO's purview. Planning for the future in the global marketplace is a competency of some debate due to current economic instability. Although the American dollar is reducing in value, the euro is dropping even faster. The same goes for many other world innovators. At one point, IT outsourcing to foreign countries was an effective method of reducing the company's technology expenditure. Now there's a lot more uncertainty regarding isolationism, barriers to free trade, and increased risk of cyber war. As CIO, the responsibility of maintaining global marketplace awareness is critical to the stability of IT profitability and security. The CIO will sometimes have to develop disaster preparedness reports for the IT infrastructure and evaluate products that will provide sustainability in the event of a disaster. My MBA degree from Western Governors University has included many competencies that have prepared me to become a CIO. The ones I believe are most applicable are IT strategies, decision support systems, leadership styles, marketing strategy, pricing strategy, ethical accounting, project management, human resources, and legal issues. IT strategy is important to both managing products and services and managing technology and innovation. Developing IT strategies are typically more directly associated with the CIO than any other position with the company. Without proper strategies in place, presenting new products to the market can be easily foiled. The CIO must also take into account strategies involved in implementing new technology systems to provide more fluid operations within the company. Since technology is continually changing and more innovative products are released to the market daily, companies have been ready to adapt these changes. Leadership qualities are the most important competency required of a CIO. Path goal theory is an effective method used by leaders to encourage employees to reach specific goals. I believe this area of my MBA training has made me a better leader. There are many forms of path goal theory leadership, which include supportive, directive, participative, and achievement-oriented leadership. Most would say the CIO's responsibility would take supportive leadership role in order to create positive work environment, and the IT director or project manager would have more of a hands-on role such as directive leadership. I feel the leadership role employed by the CIO is relative to the company's cultural and style. Another method of leadership I learned within my MBA is follower readiness. Similar to path goal theory, follower readiness is 4 levels to identify the type of follower. A CIO could use these levels to determine how to effectively manage their subordinates. The CIO must be well versed in legal issues related to IT. The world of IT is riddled with theft of intellectual property. A current example of this is the legal battle between Apple and Samsung regarding the intellectual property of the iPad or iPhone design being used to create similar Samsung products. The CIO must have to create, implement, and develop non-disclosure and non-competitive documents depending on the organization's culture. There are many skills I feel that can make me a successful CIO. Some of these include leadership skills, selecting products that fit the company's goals, developing disaster preparedness reports, customer service experience, analytical thinking, communication skills, and having my MBA in IT management. Of all these skills, I feel that being an effective leader is what I have the most experience in. Over the past 8 years, I have been an engineer and a project manager for several large projects. Many of these projects require me to directly supervise personnel. This allows me to hone in on my responsibilities and techniques employed by leaders. I found that one of the key abilities that made me a successful leader is my ability to praise and discipline equally. Throughout my professional careers, I frequently had supervisors that would only discipline poor performance and never praise good performance. This style of leadership typically led to low-performing workforce, and that would only do enough to keep them from being disciplined. I found that frequent praise of a supervisor at work would result in repeated efforts from the employee or team. If the project was completed ahead of schedule, I would find a way to reward the team for their efforts. Another leadership aspect determined to be effective was to hold monthly or bi-monthly meetings with the entire department staff to determine if there was anything we could be doing to improve the work processes, or to address any issues or concern the team might be presently facing. In conclusion, there are many competencies that the Chief Information Officer has to be able to master. I feel my professional experience has made me an effective leader, which is one of the most important aspects of the CIO's position. Western Governors University has provided me with the education I need to comprehend the skills employed by many of these leaders and how they utilize many of these competencies. Okay.
It started doing that.